Oh, it's No Face Movements, March 7, 2013. And I'm still disgraced about how St. Louis police officials handle a arrest of an 8-year-old girl. That's unconstitutional and it's morally wrong. Alright, folks. And there's one point where our justice system affected us. Alright, now this is another thing that is wrong. It's March the 9th, 2013. They are going to shut down the White House to visitors. Yes, I said March the 9th, 2013. If you ever want to visit the White House, you must do it before March the 9th, 2013. Alright, people won't be able to visit the White House where they make the rules, where they make the laws. Alright, and who controls the country? The people do. And they're telling you can't go visit it no more. Does that surprise me? No. Since the District of Columbia is part of a different country in its own country, they can do whatever they want. And I told this people, I made videos about this before. When you enter Washington, D.C., once you enter District of Columbia, you're entering another country. Just like when you enter London. Alright? And once you enter the Crown Royal, where the stock markets are and stuff for London, you're entering a different country. Just like when you enter Italy, when you enter Vatican, you're entering a different country. They control the world's religion, they control the world's money, and they control the world's army. Alright? We're going to read a little bit about this article. And spending cut closed doors on White House tours, and I wonder why, folks. Alright, they don't want the people to see what's going on. They don't want the people to go in there, like the chemtrails thing when the guy, I forgot what was the movie called. It was a good movie. What are they spraying in the sky with the chemtrails? When the guy went in there, he looked for senators and Congress people that represents the people and start asking them questions. They actually got petitions signed a lot, over 25,000, or people trying to save the dolphins. Dolphins and whales must be saved, folks. All right, that's one of our things that we got to do is cultivate the ocean, the earth. All right, and Mystique is very strong on that. She's our specialist. She is an animal enthusiast all the way around. But let's get into this article.
Visitors to Washington, D.C. hoping to take a tour of the White House will soon be out of luck. The White House Visitor Center has canceled all tours effective Saturday, March 9th, a move meant to cut costs in the wake of forced spending cuts that hit the entire federal government last Friday. An automated message at the Visitor Center's hotline informed callers of the news on Tuesday. Due to staffing reductions resulting from sequestration, we regret to inform,
AKA the fiscal cliff that we really went over.
we regret to inform that White House tours will be canceled effective Saturday, March 9, 2013, until further notice, the message said. Unfortunately, we will not be able to reschedule affected tours. A White House spokesman said this is the first consequence of the forced budget cuts on the White House. The reductions will hit Secret Service staffing and staffing at the visitor's office that processes the names of tour participants. Below is the email sent to lawmakers on Capitol Hill. Attention interested parties. Due to staffing reductions resulting from sequestration, we regret to inform you that White House tours will 2013 until further notice. Unfortunately, we will not be able to reschedule affected tours. We very much regret having to take this action, particularly during the popular spring touring season. For updates regarding this situation, please contact the White House Visitors Office 24-hour hotline at, and then there's the phone number.
And call them up if you want to, because they just shut down a piece of the people's government, right? The White House is where everyone makes laws. That you got the right to go see what your lawmakers are making law. Sometimes you can sit in. That's why they put it on TV. Well, most of the time you see closed door sessions and all that stuff. That's against the constitutional right. All right. Another thing is our state parks. Our Mystique brought this up, and it's very interesting. Our state parks
It's very important.
around the world, not just here in America. So people around the world wake up too. All right, it's time to wake up. Our whole world is going down. All right, because of these things. They're controlling our state parks, and more than just our state parks. There's a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
They're controlling the Grand Canyon.
National monuments.
Yeah.
They're creating biospheres, um, biospheres in these parks and our naturalist environments that should remain untouched. And this is the excuse that they're using. They're saying they're conserving it and whatnot, but that's simply not true. That's simply not true.
They also control the old city of Jerusalem and its walls. But I'm gonna have the links at the bottom. Go check this out, and it's crazy, folks. All right, and this is this time. All right. Mystique did some research. She brought it to my attention. We already knew that there was Russian troops and Chinese troops in America. The Chinese general the other day met with the Pentagon. But what is crazy is when she brought it up to my attention, I finally realized what is taking place. Now, these are the facts before we get into the theories. Well, until you get into our facts that we do deep research in. Well, Mystique did this research. But, since Bush took over, he sent all our heavy duty equipment and all our stuff over to the Middle East. All right.
Under the guise of a war. Under the guise of a war.
Yes, under the guise of the war. Then, right now as we speak, we went over to Fiscal Clip. They're cutting defense budget. They can't monitorize the sky no more. They're getting prepared, and we're about to get into it later on today. All right. The virtual training. What's to come. All right. They actually got a planning guide for another 9/11 attack. All right. But on top of that, they got Chinese buying cities and lands in America. They got the Chinese general visiting the Pentagon. They got Russian troops on ground. Better yet, let Mystique explain this.
There has been a surplus of trucks that has been ordered by the Obama administration to place it not across the world to attack someone else or as part of external war outside of this country. They are for the very streets of the United States, and you can go research this and check this out for yourself.
And you know who's in those trucks? Tell them.
Russian troops seem to be the ones that are allocated with these trucks.
And where's all our troops? Around the world, not here in America.
I have something else to say. The weapons, the weaponry that is out, a lot of things that we see is outdated. They have weapons that they don't have to. They're just trying to collect everyone else's guns because they don't need guns to destroy our people or anyone else in the world. They have very advanced weaponry that when you see things on the movies, you think it's imagination and it's science fiction running wild. They actually have had this for quite some time. What is exposed to the public around the world usually is 30 years or more behind technology. They have the radio waves and HARP not only can change weather, it can change the way you think, it can change your mind. You have to think, if you've ever sat in a car or been at a concert and the music was so loud, it caused your heart to tremble in your chest. Have you ever experienced that? There are radio waves and frequencies that can kill you. They don't have to just shoot you or stab you with normal weapons that we're accustomed with. And they have drones that can destroy you.
That's very important. So our troops, most of our troops are around the world, spread out. Obama is changing our constitutional rights. It's not just Obama. It's all the presidents since JFK. But it comes down to this conclusion. What is the end of the countries of the world? See, they're going to cause World War III. It's in place. They got Russian troops on the grounds here in America. The next big thing is going to be it's going to be country versus country. That's World War III. First, our stocks and our economy is going to collapse. Right now, our economy and the stocks are doing good, but we just went over the fiscal clip when all the cuts take place, April the 1st. Then following that in May 2013 is the most important thing. It's called the debt ceiling. And if they don't come up with something, well, then everything will collapse. We got more to speak about. But World War III is going to be conducted by themselves. All these countries are in legion with each other.
Yeah, it's a smoke screen.
It's a smoke screen, folks. We got Russian troops here. Around the world, they control the land. Now, what else is weird is all these meteorites. All right, they're coming through. They're actually hitting the waters. The first, as we've seen, was in Russia. and went into the lake. And Mystique brought this up. Is how it's perfectly circled.
I just don't believe a meteorite.
We got video of a UFO crashing.
Right.
And I made that public.
We'll
It's
make a
banned.
perfect circle.
It's banned in some countries. Don't forget about that. What else is important is the other day there was a sinkhole that collapsed a house. Well, swallowed one guy, and then they tore down the house and told people around to evacuate. In that same area, the same day as the meteorites from Russia came, there's meteorites from the tips of Miami all the way to northern Florida. All right, these are not meteorites.
No.
All right, the best way to take down a modern civilization from a different standpoint is by making it collapse. Am I right or wrong, Steve?
Yes, you would attack from underneath. You would come in from on top, burrow down, and then you would come from under and attack. What could someone do with that?
Like the movie Battle LA.
Or War of the Worlds.
That's why we're also seeing a lot of earthquakes and a lot of strange stuff happening underneath our Earth. Mm-hmm. All right, it's also from HAARP. It's also from the Central Galactic Plane. But all of a sudden, we're seeing too many sinkholes, too many earthquakes. All right, we're seeing all our animals that do live in the water, fishes, dolphins retreating. That they just banned my YouTube video of dolphins retreating in California. You're talking about 7-mile pods, hundreds of thousands of dolphins. Something's underneath the water. Yes. All right, these spaceships are burrowing holes. And then you got to think, why is our government making all these deep underground bases?
And you do some research. The entire world has a system and network of caverns that connects continents beneath the oceans. Some of them are supposedly unmapped. I'm sure that some satellites can squirrel out some of them, but do some research.
And the salt domes, all these salt domes collapsing too. Louisiana Bayou. What do you think's are inside these salt domes? What does salt do? Salt traps demons, the Nephilims. They're making people eat each other. You're eating someone if you're drinking Pepsi. I'm eating someone if I'm drinking Pepsi, Kraft, Nestle. You're eating aborted baby fetal cells in your drinks. Mars is testing stuff. There's cloning, stem cell research, alright?
And they're all doing this consecutively, so you do not have a chance to focus on one thing before the next big thing hits.
And then why would they have drones? Why would they have in-house surveillance? Now, when you watch these like commercials for security of house, you can watch it, but then all of a sudden say that they're monitoring your house. So these demons, these fallen angels, are monitoring how you live. All right, folks. Now they're invading the Earth. Now they're in our Earth, going through our caverns, destroying it, and making our Earth collapse from a top below, because we are top dwellers. They're underneath us, and the best way to make us is we have never went underneath the ground like they can. All right, they go through water because they're like traveling through space, folks. It's a different dimension.
And it's something that I presented. Instead of all of this NASA space exploration, why didn't they ever invest the money into exploring our oceans, since our planet is 78% or more water? Why wouldn't that be something that would be explored?
All right, we're going to bring more on this topic because they are going. There's perfect circles. These meteorites aren't meteorites. They're spaceships, fallen angels, burrowing through our Earth, all right, sucking people up, collapsing. They're going to collapse. That's why we're seeing sinkholes in cities. They're collapsing.
Collapsing our civilization is what they're doing.
And the best way to do it is by doing it from with under. All right, since there's a whole city, they go right underneath it and make it collapse, and it goes back to dirt.
You weaken the foundation.
All right, we're seeing all these earthquakes, and also we've got the Central Galactic Plane. They're intelligent. They're fallen angels and demons. All right, they're corrupting the innocent, the young, the pure-hearted. All right, we're at those times, and Obama's cutting everything. All these presidents are, all these world leaders. It's time for people to stand up. They want to take away your guns. They want domestic police. Not domestic, but military forces on the road. All right, folks, and they're Russians. This is the No Face Movement. Please rate, subscribe, comment. We're gonna have a follow-up to this video. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Blogspot, Critterbox, and Godlike Production. Please subscribe to Mystique's Astrology and Astronomy channel. That's my backup channel. This is the movement. Movement till next time. Facing off.